Hello there, my name is Tuan Pham and I'm going to be discussing about the BP oil spill that occurred near the Gulf of Mexico. The BP oil spill is one of the largest oil spills in the history of the United States. The event occurred on April 20th, 2010 when a wellhead on the Deepwater Horizon oil drilling platform blew up. The explosion resulted in the deaths of 11 platform workers, 17 injured, and a massive oil spill that has yet to be reformed. BP PLC, the company, is a British multinational oil and gas company headquartered in London, United Kingdom. It is the third largest energy company in the world. Overall, who does this affect? What and who does the BP oil spill affect? It has affected millions of people, normal everyday people who watch the news and find out about this huge disaster. People like me and you who work every day, but then this appears on the news and we're shocked and appalled about what happened. Business investors who have stocks, investments, or partnerships with the company. Environmentalists who care deeply about the environment and the negative effects of how the oil spill will destroy much of it. The government even, and how they will keep the public calm about the issue and what they plan to do in order to help resolve it. BP themselves, as they have a devastating catastrophe to fix, and what could they do to keep it on the down low so that they don't lose money, time, and pretty much their overall brand image, due to this natural disaster. In terms of globalization and how it affects the people, pretty much our relationships with the people around the world and companies and businesses around the world. As of today, the well is estimated to be leaking at a rate of 1,900,000 to 3 million liters per day, though several experts estimate, based on the footage of the spill, that the actual rate is more than 3 to 5 times higher than this. By December 2010, the government estimated that over 206 million gallons of oil had been spilled into the Gulf of Mexico. That's quite an outrageous number of pretty much oil to be in the ocean levels. No doubt the disaster has affected the relationships between the countries and the world economies. This would be either the relationship between the board of directors of BP and the United States government, or the change in the value of the BP PLC on the stock exchange. So, what exactly is the company trying to hide now, and what are the ethical issues involved with this situation? BP, this is a huge disaster for BP, and they do not want a lot of the media, a lot of people around the world to know about this natural disaster, because it will personally affect the company's brand image and affect their stocks in the price exchange. So, of course, with an event this big, BP will try their best to limit how much reaches the media and what people actually see. Earlier in 2010, the New York Times reported that an entire survey of incidents with the press have been denied access to the site and the surrounding areas. One reporter was even threatened with arrest by the U.S. Coast Guard for attempting to gain access to the site. BP spokesman Tony O'Donnell also denied that the company tried to hide environmental damage, when obviously they are trying to keep, limit how much people are having access to this information. He noted that BP has organized press visits to the spill zone and said that BP cannot tell, what the cops do. They have continually denied requests from a number of independent scientists to set up instruments on the ocean floor levels that could measure the leak of oil spill more accurately. On Monday, a daily news team was escorted away from the public beach on Elmer's Island by cops who said they were taking orders from BP, which, obviously they are trying to, not allow people to get more information about the actual disaster. It's the government of the United States has also denied access to review or get any closer to the information of what exactly is going to solve the BP oil crisis. This raises important ethical questions about what circumstances justify a government or private company in restricting what information is made available to the public. So how much access should the press have to the spill site? Is BP justified in restricting press access in order to preserve its image? And what point is the government obligated to interview in order to ensure that the public is getting the information that it is entitled to? There are also some more moral and legal obligations, such as what would be the right thing to do for the good of all people. In this case, should BP spend billions of dollars to fix the situation right away, or will they just fix it over time and use excuses to get away from the situation overall? Animals, plants, trees, the whole environment surrounding the area has been, heavily influenced and damaged by the BP oil spill. But the company has not taken enough initiative to resolve such issues, and they're hindering ethical practices by limiting how much people are entitled to, like what they should know about the BP oil spill. So since there's been a lot of cover-up for BP about the whole situation, the wildlife, there's been, the oil spill has influenced the wildlife so heavily. Like they don't want to show people the pictures of the animals, the plants, of like what the oil is doing to them. Many people have spoken that they don't want these pictures of to be revealed to the public. The BP don't want these pictures to be revealed, but they understand that that the ocean, they want the ocean to just wipe away most of the evidence. It's important though to let people know the truth about what's going on here. But BP doesn't want to ruin their public image in the eyes of the world, so they go to all lengths to hide such images and what the oil has really done to the ocean. I'm going to show you a few images of what really occurred to the wildlife and plants and animals during the BP oil spill. So, what have people been trying to do to express their concerns about the issue and what they want to be happening to resolve the issue? Many people have taken up the initiative to inform others of what truly has been happening at the site. This would be in taking hidden footages, writing things on the internet, on forums, spreading the news of the BP incident when BP wants to limit the amount of how much goes into the public. There are people who are protesting against BP's actions and demand that they take responsibility for it right away, in the sense that they need to be spending billions of dollars to fix the issue. People who care deeply about the environment want BP to clean up their mess and pretty much restore things to the way they used to be. Of course, we all know that is impossible, in the sense that things will never be the way they used to be with how much oil that has been spilt into the ocean. And then there are everyday people like us who are shocked and appalled at what happened at the BP oil spill, in which we just want we'd want the best for the people around that area, in the sense that we hope that everything's going okay and that nobody has been heavily injured or things like that. So, who are the shareholders that have been affected by the BP oil spill? This event overall has definitely affected BP's shareholders, as the stock prices for the company plummeted after the news of it reached the media. Primary shareholders who invest into the company, such as the board of directors, stockholders, and employees, are definitely affected by this. Secondary shareholders to the company, such as partners and sponsors of BP, no longer feel that it's a safe company to invest in, and that it has a strong foothold of their drilling operations in the Gulf of Mexico. Even a BP investor has filed a lawsuit against the company's board of directors. According to Bloomberg Business Week, shareholder Catherine Firpo expressed that there's negligence and lapses in safety oversight within BP's operations. It's understandable that the BP shareholders are frustrated and worried about the financial losses, but their safety concerns aren't something new. According to Firpo, shareholders initiated proceedings against the board of directors in 2006 to force BP to look closely more into their safety issues on the deepwater oil platforms, but they did not consider these proceedings, and they just let things go because they felt that they had a strong control of the safety issues and concerns of their drilling platforms. Well, in the end, this was not the case, as the BP oil spill shows what the shareholders have been concerned about all this time. So, how do I personally feel about the BP oil spill, and what are its implications that it has done to the world, pretty much? Overall, I feel that the BP oil spill has made ripples in the Gulf of Mexico. It has affected the local wildlife, the people, and the environment, with thousands of dead animals and plants surrounding that area. The sea levels are quite drastically filled with black. The oceans are just black, mainly like you're not able to see the blue and clear ocean anymore. While this event did happen about 3 years ago, I feel that BP did not quite take the right actions to settle and fix the issue. Things will continue to die in that area, and if nothing is done, and nothing will improve out of the situation if BP doesn't take initiative to just get in there, and this is their mess in the first place, so they need to take this chance to really resolve the issue as quick as possible, because it is slowly affecting their company image and reputation as every day goes by. The key thing is to be able to create a sustainable future where we can grow and live together. But with the damages and the long-term effects of the oil spill, it is difficult for the environment around the area to prosper or even continue growing. So BP must take all the necessary actions to resolve the issue as quickly as possible. Well, back in 2010, as of 2013, things have gone a little better, in the sense that BP has, they have developed programs to remove most of the oil and restore the wildlife in the area. They've also implemented some new security measures on all of their oil rigs to prevent this from happening again in the future. Overall, this concludes my analysis of the BP oil spill and its implications on managing responsibility in the global environment. Thank you.